Hello, sir. Good morning.
So let's wait for one more minute. Hi, Shakil.
Hello, good morning.
Good evening. Okay, on time. Let's start. So now we are going to talk about another topic, which will be auto-scaling group. Let's first understand why do we need auto-scaling group before we start looking into auto-scaling group. Um, okay, so why auto-scaling group is needed? Let's understand that thing first. Now, again, coming back to our normal day-to-day activities or day-to-day day-to-day using browsers, such as any of the e-commerce website or any of the application which you are using quite often, any application tend to get more traffic, tend to get more customers, tend to get more logins, tend to get more queries on it every now and then. It might happen that on any fine day, you start experiencing more traffic, you start seeing that more number of consumers starts looking into any application which is recently hosted by the company owners maybe. For example, if tomorrow Microsoft comes and says that, hey, I'm launching a product which can just increase the speed of your laptop to 10 times, then certainly everyone will start looking into the product which Microsoft is offering. Say for example Tesla comes, or maybe Twitter, X, these all companies comes and say that I'm launching certain product which will help you to work well and organize well your day-to-day activities. Then every customer will start looking into that product, start exploring that product which they have recently launched, and traffic will be too high in their websites. Now, in case if traffic goes high, then certainly these companies should have a mechanism to automatically manage the traffic flow, manage this kind of spike in the consumer base. And that is where some automation comes in place. That is where lots of automation framework are there. Now, normally what happens nowadays is any of the application is hosted in the form to which we call as microservices. Microservices. What are microservices? Microservices are the are the I'll say which horizontal layers of applications which we are using at this point of time. For example, if I talk about any website, e-commerce websites, Amazon, Flipkart. Amazon and Flipkart do have multiple products on multiple pages of products which they are offering to their customers. They're offering they're offering electronic items. They're offering maybe household commodities. They're offering some other a number of different types of items they're offering. For example, the offering of e-commerce websites, say abc.com, is the e-commerce website, and they're offering say five different five different products in the first place. So maybe product one, product two, product three, and so on. They are offering five products. Now, I being a customer, what I'm doing is I'm just checking for product one, product two, product three independently. Product one, offering in product one is entirely isolated, entirely different from the offering of product two. Offering in product two is not at all related in offering of product three. Now, what happens? What you see there on the web page is a kind of graphical user interface for you, but those programmers, those DevOps engineers, those IT team who is working for these big giant organizations, abc.com or Microsoft.com or Amazon.com, they are the sole owner, they are the maintainer who are maintaining, who are working, those all engineers works day in, day out to maintain those pages for us. There is some backend code, there is some backend images which is continuously getting uploaded by those engineers, those backend team, those IT team, because of which we are able to see those pages. Now, for some reason, the code which is written by developer for P1 for product one is having some bug, is having some problem, and it's not working properly. Company doesn't want customers to stop saying product two because they are both isolated. There is no connection in between product one and product two and product 3 and product 4 and product 5. So for some reason the code which is written for for hosting web page for product 1 is having some problem. Still page 2 should work fine. Still page 3 should work fine. Now what happens? That is where microservices comes in. Microservices uh, allows a thin layer to be created in between different offerings of organizations so that each of the offering of organization is isolated with other, isolated as in isolated from the offerings, from various sort of coding which is written at the back end, from various sort of maybe infrastructure layer, network layer, various sort of layers which companies uses in order to offer any of the product to customers. With the use of microservices, it gets isolated with each other. Now, this isolation is very much important for sure, but along with this isolation, it's pretty much important that companies should have a mechanism to auto scale the auto scale the page content, auto scale the auto scale the product offerings also time to time, so that in case customers traffic is high to view any product, website should not crash, website should not go down just because there are more number of customer who is trying to look into the products offerings on any fine day. So both the thing is important. Isolation in between products are important, as well as companies should have automation in place which will let these product offering to go down when customer goes high, or fall down when customer count reduces, right? So that is where this some automation comes, that is where kind of intelligence comes, and that process is called auto scaling. So what is auto scaling? Auto scaling a process by means of which, anyone has any question? Okay, auto scaling has any process by means of which infrastructure count, or maybe virtual machine count, or maybe servers count goes high in order to allow multiple users to access product properly without any congestion, without any latency, without any sort of problem. That is called auto scaling. As of now, we heard about scalability, wherein we learned that scalability is of two types, vertical scaling as well as horizontal scaling. But that was sort of manual process wherein one has to create more number of instances like the way we did. In order for load balancer to work, we created two instances instead. But what if there should be some intelligence? There is some intelligence, and because of that intelligence, automatically the instance count goes high or it falls back once the load reduces. That process is called auto scaling. But to which extent server count will go high? Is it like unlimited, or company do have some vision on top of that? Or the product owners do have some vision on top of that. So yes, whenever any company sets auto scaling, whenever any company thinks about scaling in, scaling out automatically, companies think about three different values: minimum count, desired value, and maximum count. So all the three values they think about. What is minimum count? Minimum count is the minimum number of servers which will be available every time. Desired count is the desired count which I need every time. So in case if the customer count is 10, which can be well managed by perhaps two virtual machine, maybe customer will launch three virtual machine to give a better ease, to give very less latency to customers, to give easy offering of product. Companies will create three virtual machine, and that is where DevOps engineers comes in. It's the responsibility of DevOps engineer to set up this auto scaling, to set up the scaling mechanism to create microservices. In our upcoming sessions, yeah, anyone has any question?
So,
Okay.
sir, this is always done by the DevOps.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. This is done by DevOps. This microservices creation is the responsibility of DevOps engineer. While we learn Kubernetes or Docker, we learn here we'll create containers.
Sir,
Containers.
the definition of microservices, I did not understand. If you can explain this using another way,
Sure,
maybe easier or like a layman kind of thing.
sure, sure. So microservices is something wherein you break bigger tasks into smaller tasks and distribute it so that you can make one task independent of another task. For example, in case if you are working on four different maybe tasks. For example, if you're working on networking products, then perhaps you have to create some maybe local area network you have to create. In local area network, again, you have to think of firewall. Again, in there, perhaps you need to create some sort of gateways, and then you will think of creating some virtual machines. Now, what you will do is creation of local area network, firewall, gateways, VMs. You will just create a kind of thin boundary in between tasks which you assign to your team members, perhaps. Now you are a team lead, you do have four tasks to perform. Now, what you will do instead of working on LAN, firewall, gateways, VMs, instead of assigning one single person all the four tasks, what you have done, you have chosen four different individuals, and these four different individuals are independently working on creation of LAN, creation of firewall, creation of gateways, creation of virtual machine. What it is doing, it is giving you more scope, faster performance, faster rate to complete task. Also, all the four tasks is going parallelly for you. Bringing it back into IT terms, IT companies also do have multiple layers of the product. Whatever they offer to customers, they have multiple layers to product. Any of the application you think about, Zoom application. Zoom application is having audio, video, screen sharing, so many different layers are there. What they do, instead of offering these instead of offering one single team to create all these four layers, they just hire four different teams who are working separately on each of these layers. They are not dependent on each other. They are just working on one single product at a time, so that they are each of the product can developed parallelly. This entire process wherein you can divide bigger product into smaller product and can work on each of the product parallelly is called microservices. This concept is called microservices. Hope you got it.
Yes, sir, I got this, but uh, you were talking about when we are on e-commerce website, we are browsing, let's say, product one. So what was that about? Like, uh, uh, how does that fit into microservices?
Okay. So product one. Now, whenever we go to any of the e-commerce website, there could be multiple products. Coming back to the same example, first product could be electronic product. Now, these electronic products which you see is like a kind of user interface. You are seeing the graphical view. But actually at the back end, some developers, some engineers will be sitting and they will be writing day in, day out code to maintain, to manage those graphical interfaces, right? You understand this thing,
Yes,
right?
yes.
Yeah. So now for electronic item, there is a separate set of engineers who is sitting for your maybe for household items, for grocery items, separate set of backend engineers, backend teams are sitting. Now, what in case if there will be same team who will be working on all of these products, what you will do instead of creating a isolation in between these products, perhaps they would have displayed everything, they've written the code, everything in a kind of single layer. When I say single layer, it's a kind of single page. Consider you do have a single page, and in that single page, code for electronic item is also written, code for household item is also written, grocery item is also written, and I'm just talking in terms of e-commerce. Multiple for more multiple product offering of e-commerce code is written. For some reason, that web page goes down, web server which is hosting that web page goes down, then all the product which is offered by e-commerce website goes down, but these are independent. Product one, product two are not dependent. The one, say, in case if I am the customer who just wants to view P2, product two, which is grocery item, and I don't care about any new electronic item offerings, then I should not get disrupted just because the code for electronic item is having some bug. Now, when I was talking in these terms, what I meant was in case if there will be one single team will be created, one single content, and that content will have all the products overloaded in it. And for some reason, if that content page goes down, then certainly all the customer base will be disrupted, will be affected. Instead of that, microservices allows organization to break to break independent independent products, independent offerings into smaller chunks, and each of the chunk could be managed separately. This process is called microservices.
Yes, sir. Thank you, sir.
Okay. Okay. So now this is how it goes. So now auto scaling will have minimum capacity, desired capacity, and maximum capacity. So at any point of time, this minimum will be there. Desired will be so even though doesn't matter how low the traffic will be, it cannot go it cannot go below minimum. Desired is the one which will be available all the time, which will be there, which is like desired at this particular load. This is desired, and max is the maximum which it can go up to. So there is a kind of vision, there's a kind of calculation which is done by architects, wherein they say that, okay, fine, doesn't matter how good you make your product, it won't go beyond these many customers, and you need say hundreds of virtual machines to handle those many customers. So minimum, desired, and maximum is pretty much needed. Now let's see quite the same thing in our EC2. Any questions still here? Okay. Now let's see quite the same thing in our AWS Management Console, how it works. So now EC2, I'm pretty much sure you have seen this dashboard quite a number of times now. EC2 dashboard. Now, if you go to the bottom of the EC2 dashboard at the left side, there is something called auto scaling. There is something called auto scaling, which we have to work on in order to manage auto scaling groups, to which we call as ASG. Now, this AWS interface also changes a lot. Previously, we used to have two different components here. One was auto scaling group and another was launch configuration, which I am seeing now in instance under instances tab. Let's see, under instances, it's launch templates. Previously, that option should be within this auto scaling only. But let's see. So we'll need both the things, launch template, which is now here, instances. Previously, previous interface should have here, and now auto scaling group. Now let's click on auto scaling group. Now, as you'll click on this, so auto scaling group, basically I'm creating a group, like the name says, group, which will auto scale based on some intelligence. Auto scaling group. Now create auto scaling group. Click on create auto scaling group. The first thing which it's going to ask is name of the auto scaling group, demo auto scaling group. Give a name. Now you see launch template. What it's saying within auto scaling group, you have to create a launch template. Let's create it first, then we will understand much better in a much better way what are the usage of each of the component. So launch template and auto scaling group are dependent on each other. Let's see what launch template says. As of now, I don't have any launch template. So let's create a launch template also. Let's see what launch template says. Now again, this launch template will ask for the name. It's demo launch template. Template version description. I'll just give same thing. Auto scaling guidance. Select this if you intend to use this template with EC2 auto scaling, which I want. I want to use this template with EC2 auto scaling because my intention, like the way I explained even before in theory, that my intention is to increase the count of virtual machine as load goes high. If the load falls down, then the count of EC2 instance, which is also a virtual machine, should fall down. So yes, I want to deal with EC2 auto scaling group for that. Template tags, you can give some tag also in case if you want. Source template, say in case if you want to have, you already have a kind of source template with you and you just want to copy the content, or you want to just take the reference of another existing content and another existing template, you can use this, but I don't have any other, so I won't be using this. Now here, whenever you create one one template, you will try to give same sort of details like the way you gave when you were creating EC2 instances. When you were creating EC2 instances, what you gave, it asked for the image, which was also deciding which operating system you will create the virtual machine. So now quite the same thing here also you have to give, because what your intention is, what company wants to have some virtual machine created so that application which is hosted on the virtual machine should be accessible by customers. So end goal is customers should be able to access applications properly, and we being a DevOps engineer work on creating auto scaling, a kind of intelligence by means of which any spike in customer base should not impact application which is hosted for them, which is exposed to them. In order to do that, what I'll do, I'll first give a kind of definition of what sort of image will be there while launching the virtual machine. It's very similar like the way we created one EC2 instance. So recents quick start. I'll go with quick start because I don't have anything in the recent. I did not launch any recent template, so I don't have anything. Quick start says that which all options I do have available at this point of time. Now you see very similar the way it was when I was creating the EC2 instances. Now I'll choose the option as Amazon Linux. Choose the first option. Again, same configuration came in. Why I'm doing this? I'm doing this because in order for virtual machine to create, I have to give this definition. So now I'm not separately creating any EC2 instances. I'm not going to any EC2 instance dashboard and putting in multiple options there. I'm defining the EC2 instance type of configuration in launch template itself. different from the way we did earlier. So now here I gave the AMI, the Amazon Machine Image type as Linux, quite the same thing which we gave earlier, and it is free tier eligible. So I'm happy with that. Again, same sort of username is also same. Instance type, I'm going to choose free tier eligible, which is T2 micro, and keep your login. See, same values are coming here. The one which I was giving while I was creating EC2 instance, I'm giving in launch template this time. I don't include in this
Sir,
template
you said that you're not creating instance, you're only creating launch template
template. Yes,
for the future prospect uh, instance.
for the auto scaling group. Yes,
Yes.
for the future
Okay.
prospect.
Okay.
Yes.
Good. Thank you.
This is just the template. This won't create anything. So now here, I won't even give the subnet where it's going to create. I won't even define the availability zone in this anymore. I'll just put the security group. I'll select the existing security group. You see, I'm not giving any subnet. What is subnet? Subnet is just the range of IP address. I don't want to give subnet. I don't want to choose any subnet here. Nothing. Availability zone, selecting exist. I'll just choose selecting as existing group, which I'll mention as launch wizard 2, which I was choosing earlier. Advanced networking configuration, I don't need anything this in this. And one more thing which I have to do now is advanced details. Now what I've done, exactly same definition which I was giving while creating EC2 instance, I did. I'm just creating a template here which I'll be using along with auto scaling group, which will launch instance for me. I no need to launch any instance separately for myself. So now what I'll do, I'll just come down and let's put the same sort of script for ourselves. So let me just get the script for the one which I was using earlier. Oh, where are you? Okay, here it is. So now I do have the script. Let me just get it. Okay, so see, I am using same script. Hope you got this script. Did you check that it's if it's there in your education portal, whatever portal you do have shared by GoInit?
I checked, sir, but they need to, share to us.
Oh, it's not there.
No,
Okay.
might possible they will talk with you before sharing.
No, I already shared with them. I just said that they need
Uh,
to share this. Other than this, I shared
I,
some other documents also.
yeah, I check it. They said like you just shared only one link like that, so
Hmm.
they will recheck with you.
Yeah, I shared the link. So did you get this code and the link which I shared earlier?
Yeah, we get this code because you pasted it on chat. That time
No,
you
no, not on
pasted.
chat. Not on chat. I shared it to them. I thought that because I did not know that you do have a separate portal because I don't have that portal with me. So I thought
Uh,
they'll be uploading it
no,
in
sir,
that
no,
portal.
not
No?
now.
Okay,
No.
okay. I can check with them. Okay. Okay.
Sir, what is this? The last one, allow tags in metadata. Don't include in launch template.
Again, this will be tags which will be associating to the instances maybe while you are creating it. So nothing will be there. In launch template, it's the basic configuration which is needed to create the virtual machine.
Hmm.
No subnets, no availability zone, nothing. Just the definition of virtual machine. Right? Just the basic thing which you need to create one virtual machine. It's just a template. And again, this same code, now I'm creating a launch template. Okay. So
Yes, sir.
launch template is created. Now if I go here, I have a launch template with me. Launch template ID, and this is the name, and this, it's created. I can have more than one also. That's fine. More than one also can be created. It's just a template. And this template, for this template, AWS is not going to charge you because with this template, you did not create any instances. So now if I come, you see with this template, you just created the template, no instance. right? No instance with this template. Now what I'll do, I'll use this template. I'll refresh this. Now this template is visible here. Now, what it says, default, once I chose this default version 1, because this is just the version 1 of this template I have created, AMI ID, everything is there exactly in the same way, like the way I have created. So same thing, same definition which I chose there in launch template. It started appearing here, AMI ID, 𝗧𝗃𝗶𝗰𝗪. You saw that, quite the same value I uploaded there also. Now it's getting filtered from there and coming to here. Now click on next. Now you see, now this is the place I'll define my networking component. Why at this place? Why not at there? Because when I'm creating EC2 instance, I'll be able to create EC2 instance in one geographical location, in one availability zone, or in one subnet at a time. This is very important. When I am creating EC2 instance, EC2 instance could be created in one availability zone with one range of subnet at a time. But this is not one single EC2 instance which I'm referring to. I'm talking about intelligence which will create EC2 instances for me on the fly. As things goes bad, it will create more instances for me. As things goes good, as traffic reduces, maybe as spike is low, it will just cut down some instances for me. So it is having the capacity to create more number of instances, and I don't want it to restrict only to one availability zone. I want it to spread across different availability zone. Now, you cannot choose more than one VPC. You will have to choose only one VPC because different VPCs do have different restrictions. Now, I will be able to choose multiple availability zones now. You see, I'll be able to choose multiple AZs here so that it creates your, it will be able to create the instances across different availability zones. Now, on what basis it will distribute, where it will, now this is not the load distribution, understand it. Load distribution is taken care by load balancer. Its main job is, auto scaling group main job is to create virtual machines for you. Whether the traffic will be routed or not, this will not decide it. That will be decided by load balancer only. This will just launch instance for you. Now, availability zone distribution. Which availability zone will get how many instances and which will get how many instances is decided by this option which you are choosing. Balanced best effort. So what this will do, it will launch, like the name says, if launches fail in one availability zone, auto scaling will attempt to launch in another healthy availability zone. If one availability zone goes bad, then this option will try to create it in another healthy availability zone which is not yet failing. But what balanced only will do, even though if it fails in one availability zone, one AZ, which is unhealthy, it will try attempting and it will try creating in the unhealthy AZ only. It will try attempting. But what balanced best effort will do, which is the right choice to make while you are creating this auto scaling group, it will try to create your instance in the healthy AZs. Okay. Now, any doubt in this page? We'll have 4 pages to go while we
Yeah.
create this.
Yeah. So we're still in the launch template.
Launch template we have created. We are in ASG, which we are in auto scaling group where we have
Okay.
selected
Okay.
launch.
Okay, sir.
Okay. Now let's click on next. Now here is the thing. Now this guy also allows you to associate your launch configuration with load balancers. Now, what AWS says, fine, you have created auto scaling group. With auto scaling group, you will be able to create more instances as any instance fails. But do you parallelly want to share your traffic also? Do you want to just send your traffic to those instances also. Yesterday we have created some load balancers which I deleted because again each these load balancers incurs some cost. Now, if you do have a load balancer, you can attach to a load balancer, attach to a new load balancer. You can create a load balancer also for yourself, and you will be able to associate this with it, right? So you have multiple options. Node load balancer attached to an existing load balancer. In case if you have load balancer exist, you will be able to attach to a new load balancer. But in short, what you are going to do, yesterday we have seen something to which we call as target groups. In target groups, what we have done, in target groups we have added EC2 instances, right? But if I'll do this, it will create one auto scaling group, or sorry, load balancer, which is application load balancer or network load balancer, and it will just add this auto scaling group as a target. Instead of adding separate instances as a target, it will add auto scaling group as a target. So what happens? Auto scaling group is managing EC2 instances, and this load balancer will send traffic to all the EC2 instances, which is managed by this auto scaling group. Nothing different than what we have learned yesterday. Okay, so no, as of now, I'll choose no load balancer. Now, ВPC lattice integration option. This is different networking related component which takes care of VPC facilities and VPC components which works on it. Zonal shift, again, enable zonal shift basically means that in case if any any instance gets created, then the for example, in case if any instance goes unhealthy, then it cannot be moved from, then the newer instances cannot be moved from that zone to another zone. The previous option, which is best effort only and balanced only, decided where to launch the instance in case if AZ goes bad, AZ is unhealthy. This decides if instance is unhealthy, then does it try to create new instance in same zone, or does it try to shift the instance? Does it try to create new instance in some other zone, right? So it is like enabling will try to create your new EC2 instance, which is the replacement of unhealthy EC2 instance in some other zone. Again, thing is health check. Health check is more like deciding whether EC2 instance is healthy, EC2 instance is able to track the traffic, application within EC2 instance is healthy or not. Now the health check grace period is 300 seconds. That basically means it will before declaring that EC2 instance is unhealthy, it will try to check for 300 seconds. It will keep checking your EC2 instances, and after the time lapsed, it will declare that your EC2 instance is unhealthy. I'll go over the page again. You can choose either of the load balancer, network or ALB. And in case if you do have existing one, you can choose that. If you don't have, you can create that. But whenever you are doing it, it will just add this auto scaling group as a target to your load balancer. Other things are networking components and the shift of your EC2 instances in case if it's healthy, and also it takes care of the health checks. It also maintains the health of your EC2 instances, which is managed by auto scaling group. Any doubt in this page? Okay, let's move to the next one. Now here it's the very important one. You see here I was talking about desired capacity, minimum desired capacity, and maximum desired capacity. So basically what it says, at any point of time, you will have this many instances ready. It is 1. I'll make it 2. So what I'm deciding now is at any point of time, I should have 2 instances with me. At any point of time, I should have 2 instances with me. This is my desired capacity. Now, if for some reason I'm unable to create 2 instances, maybe for because of my budget is constraining, because of my some other networking limitation which AWS came up with, it should not go below 1. That is my minimum desired capacity. And the maximum desired capacity is the maximum size which I can go. I can give it 5 or anything which your company decides. So scaling limits, desired capacity is the capacity which I want to be available, the number of instances which I want to be available every time. Scaling decides what is the range. Scaling is always range, minimum range and maximum range, right? So now this is very much important because this is going to decide everything, how you are, how you are scaling, how you are increasing, lowering down. This component will decide it. Now another thing is automatic scaling. Now how you want to scale your instance count, because that is something which is very much important. How do you want to scale? You, in order to scale, there should be some policies, there should be some metrics which decides, okay, load is going high, fine, but load is going high is like customer count is going high. Who decides? Perhaps your machine won't have that intelligence to count the number of customers which is increasing from 100 to 10,000. No, machines may or may not have that sort of intelligence. But what machine will have intelligence? Machine will have intelligence wherein they will start realizing that their capacity is getting over exhausted. Machine will start complaining. Say for example, if you have the capacity to handle 10 tasks every day, or maybe 10 incidents, or maybe 10 changes every day, if your team lead assigns hundreds of 100 incidents or 100 changes every day, what you will do? You will start complaining. You will say that because you don't have the visibility why your team lead is assigning you 10 instead of 10 100 of changes or 100 of incidents. You don't know that. You don't have that intelligence maybe. But you are complaining because you are getting more load. Your capacity is getting hit. That is the reason you starts complaining. Machine also will have same thing. Machine will not have intelligence that yes, I'm getting this much load because customer count went high, but machine certainly will complain. It will say that my CPU utilization is getting 90% every time. It's hitting 90, it's going to 100% also sometimes. My storage capacity is exhausting. Even in Android phones or iPhones, if the storage capacity reaches approximately to 95%, 96%, you see that the apps which you are opening in your phone also doesn't open pretty much well. Same thing happens in virtual machine also. You set up some scaling policies because of which it resize itself, right? It starts resizing itself. How does it resize? What could be the scaling policy? My CPU utilization is getting high, my storage is getting exhausted pretty much well. Different metrics could be there, based on which resizing could happen. This is decided by automatic scaling policies, target tracking scaling policies. There is some metrics, there is some target value which decides, okay, fine, on what basis you will scale up or scale down. This is also one important thing. Again, now this talks about the maintenance policy for EC2 instances. When you want to launch EC2 instance, what happens to the EC2 instance which gets terminated and all? There are multiple ways. There are, normally we choose launch before terminating, which decides high availability. In my experiences, I have seen whenever engineers create it, at least nowadays, because this launching before terminating will give more availability of application. So in case if it terminates and other instance does not launch, then there is traffic congestion always, which we have realized. And that is where we always choose the option as launch before terminating. There are options like terminate and launch custom behavior, where you can choose the behavior when you want to launch and all. This decides that this is mostly how you want to launch the instance based on the policy, based on the metrics, which is actually creating more number of instances. Instance maintenance policy basically takes care of health. If the instance is unhealthy, then you have to create it. And even before you create, do you want to terminate it, or do you want to create first and that terminate? This is decided by instance maintenance policy. Now, additional capacity settings, wherein it mostly decides the capacity which you have promised, which company has promised that they will take from they'll take from AWS. Now, what companies does, companies pre-sign certain level of agreements. Whenever they start using this auto scaling group, companies sign some sort of agreement with AWS and will say that whenever I need, you'll have to reserve this much capacity for me, because perhaps I can just expect my customer base to go high. AWS charges some money to customers for that context in order to sign those agreements. But in return, AWS promises that whenever you will require from anywhere I'll allocate you this much capacity. So that is where additional capacity comes in place, right? And additional settings wherein we talk about scale in production and all. So this page talks more about how you will scale up, how you will scale down. In case if you scale up, scale down, then what will be the count, minimum count, maximum count, desired capacity, and various sort of options which will take care of the health of entire auto scaling group. Any question in this page?
Sorry, you have not selected target tracking scaling policy. Like if you want to,
Yeah,
monitor
I didn't select.
the traffic load,
Yeah,
like
because
how,
that is, yeah, go ahead, please.
like in case we want to measure the traffic, so that we can auto scale, then how we can do that? Like what where exactly we are counting the customer traffic?
Right. So what happens is in such cases, certain metrics there. What happens is first of
Yes.
all, there should be load. Actual customer base should be there, right? So actual customer base will be there. There will be customer who will be accessing your application, and there are other services offered by AWS. One of them is CloudWatch. CloudWatch understands that, okay, fine, these many customers are trying to access this application. Load goes high, load falls down, based on which CloudWatch generates some metrics. So if I choose this, in the first place, I should have those customers and those metrics type defined, like target tracking policy and metrics type, average CPU utilization. For average CPU utilization, first I need to have those I'll say those customers who are actually trying to access my virtual machines should be there. But I can show you. Say in case if I touch it, then under average CPU utilization, you can choose these all metrics. For example, if I'm choosing average CPU utilization, then what is the target value which I want to set for average CPU? Say I'm setting 75%. 75%. That basically means, say in case if the CPU is, my CPU is say 20 core CPU, then 75% of 20 approximately 15 CPU as it's hit, it will start generating some alert for me and will say that, okay, fine, your CPU utilization is already hitting your target value for which you set. For example, like your budgeting. What happens in your budgeting? You have said that my budget should not cross to perhaps $10 per month. If it crosses $10 per month, or if it is reaching to 80%, 90%, then you start sending some alerts, some mails to me. And it is quite in the same way, right? But
Okay, so
this, uh,
for testing we can't test it now.
unfortunately, we can't because we cannot
Okay,
have those customer base.
okay, then it's fine.
But I'll show you one interesting thing. Now, if I'll save it, it will start launching instance, even though I won't create any instance directly. But as I will save and everything after this completion, it will create two instance for me because that is what the desired I said, even though I'm not creating any instance.
Right, right.
Any other question?
No, not now.
Okay. Now let's click on next. Now here again something wherein what happens is many times, many times when this kind of threshold is hit, especially in MNCs, especially in companies who wants to get notified for any such kind of say mm, metrics hit or increase in load. If they want to get notified, then what we do is we set some sort of notification mechanism. We say that, okay, fine, notify me at the time of any instance launch, notify me in case if instance is terminated or if it's failed to launch, if it's failed to terminate, then we can set a kind of notification also, and that notification reaches to respective team members or respective stakeholders who remains aware of what sort of issue is causing this is causing the spike maybe, or is causing the increase in instance count or the reduction is in count. This is also very important. This is a kind of notification one which teammates get. But this is mostly been taken care by AWS cloud engineers. DevOps engineers will have not much role to play in setting up notification, because these notification will include some topics like the way it says SNS topic. SNS is send notification, yeah, send notification services, which is mostly set by, designed by, defined by cloud folks. So nothing much for us in this, but yes, this is again one important component. Good to know that yes, it sends a notification also. That sort of intelligence AWS offers us, where it starts sending notification also to respective stakeholders or teams, whoever is responsible in doing this. Let's click on next. Tags, in case if you want to add some tag could be anything, say team, and I'll say DevOps, something, team application, something you can say. Tag, you are tagging new instances with this, or maybe you can just add some tag as name, as is as demo is GVM, demo is GVM, some name which I wanted to give. So tag new instances. The instance which will be created will have these tags in it, and click on next. So this tag is like tagging your instance, which will be created as a part of this auto scaling group. Again, remember, auto scaling group is just to create instances for you. It has nothing to do with load balancing. It has nothing to do with load distribution. This ASG will act as a target to your load balancer. The one which we did yesterday, we created instances manually and we created target group out of it. This auto scaling group will be a part of that target group, and load will be balanced across all the newly created instances as well, which in this case will get created across multiple availability zones because we have selected multiple availability zones also. Now let's create on next. Now it gives me an entire thing to review. I have a launch template. I have networking component. I have everything, whatever we have done till now, everything is there. Now what happens is I'm just going to hit on create auto scaling group. It takes few seconds to create. It's just updating the capacity. Let's go into this. And let's go to instance management. And instances it will create in few seconds maybe. Let's wait. If I click on activity, nothing is there. It will just let's give few seconds maybe, and then we will see things moving on. Updating capacity. See, now it starts showing everything, whatever we gave in this instance type requirements, everything what we gave is here. Instance management. Let's wait. Parallelly, I'll open the instance dashboard also. Now instances. This how it will create balanced effort. Let's wait. Okay. Updating capacity. Let's see. Let it complete. Status is updating capacity. It takes 30 seconds to 1 minute for it to create. Once it is done, but in between, if you do have any questions, feel free to ask, please.
Sir, I'm getting charged on this account. Can you see like why it is charging me every
How,
day?
how many instances you're creating?
Uh, the two at least.
No, create but delete it. Stop it. Don't keep it
Okay.
up.
And yeah, I stop it everything, but still it is increasing some points like that.
Okay.
So if I want to see like why it is increasing any uses per application, can I
Can you
see
come
somewhere?
here? Like, can you share your screen? That's strange. It should not. Show your screen.
Okay, let me share my screen.
Because you are in free tier capacity and AWS gives 6 months now free tier thing to.
Okay, let me share my screen.
Is anyone else who's getting Shakil? However, you are also getting charged.
Sorry,
What,
Yes.
created
what is it, sir?
Are you also getting charged by AWS?
No, not yet.
Not
no.
yet. I don't know why. You created it recently, right, Ashwini?
Yes, yes.
Why you are getting charged? Amount spent.
I will share my dashboard.
But this amount may be that 750 that free.
Yeah,
That
it
is
is. So do I need to delete these things? Security group, volumes, what? I'm not
no,
sure.
not
Keep your
needed.
instances.
Not needed. Those are free. The AWS is not going to charge you anything on that.
Security groups like that.
No, the thing. These are
Otherwise, it is increasing day by 3-4 cents.
that is weird. Go to your billing dashboard once again and let's see. Scroll down slowly. Wait. Amazon Elastic Cloud Compute. What is that? Others.
Elastic
This.
Compute,
Click on that.
EC2,
Click on that blue one. Just wait.
Virtual Private VPC,
PC.
storage services. Yeah, this is taking.
Elastic Cloud Compute. Is it with the? See, your EC2 is charging you. Only EC2. Yeah, only EC2 is charging you. Don't create and don't keep it up. I don't know. I think see your billing clearly says that you are keeping it up for a longer period of time. See, you are getting charged only because of EC2.
So where it says that you're keeping it up?
It doesn't say, but the bill
Okay.
It
says.
is charging.
Yeah.
Bill is saying that it's keeping it up. You
Okay,
see
do I need to delete the instance and when required, then only create it?
yeah.
Because if
Don't
it
keep
is
it up.
going like that, it will cross some limit.
Yeah. Don't keep it up.
Okay, let me.
As if you're not using it,
Sorry, delete it. Yeah, because let me delete it now.
But sir, it will charge after 750, right?
yeah. Ideally, it should not charge. Ideally, it should charge only after 750 hours is exhausted.
No, but it is not exhausted, I think, sir. It is.
No, it is not exhausted. Yeah, right.
It should not charge you ideally. Is it happening
I
to?
terminate it.
Good. You terminated. Is it
I have
charging to
no
anyone
option.
else? I heard that Shakil and Web, it's not charging for you. And
No.
yeah, this is
No, sir. When I checked last time, but I'll check it again.
yeah,
Yeah, please check it
I have to
again.
be careful now.
yeah. This is
Even I am thinking I need to delete these things. Keep load balancer as well. It's a paid service.
no check no for what you're getting billed. You're getting billed only because of EC2 instance, right? Load balancer is bid one, so delete it.
Okay, let me delete it. Yeah, yesterday I created this. Okay, where is the delete load balancer? Ideally, it should not charge because of during
Not charge.
first 6 months.
Click because this is new dashboard which you guys are using. Click on this should be interesting. Click on dash launch instance. I also want to see what happens now. Because for me, I
Right.
created it long back. Click on launch instance.
Launch instance. Okay, here.
Right. No, right one.
Okay, here. Okay.
Scroll down. That should be towards right. Scroll down. Scroll down.
No, it is not showing the summary that you have at your site.
Okay. Scroll down. That's weird. Go to your left. This is something new. Go up.
Okay.
Go up. Give a name to it.
Okay, let me
Give a
give
name.
it EC2.
Scroll down. Choose AMI.
Amazon. And like here, I need to select
That is fine. Scroll down.
64 byte. It is T2, which is.
Is it?
I
Are
think.
you choosing T3 micro only while creating?
Yes.
See, this is not free tier.
No, we don't have T2 micro here.
Then whatever free tier is, choose that.
T3 micro is the free tier.
But it's not written free tier for you.
But
Whenever
like in this window, it is not mentioning free tier. If I'm selecting T2, it is not mentioning. Let me show you something.
because you remember when I am creating, I'm selecting only the one which says free tier.
Yeah, at your side it is showing, but see, this is the page I'm referring. Somewhere it is showing free something. Let me try it again. Ah,
Is it showing free for you, Shakil, or whoever? Anywhere? Can you check, please?
Yes, sir. As far as I remember.
Showing? Yeah.
Is it showing is it free like that?
Yeah, I'm not logged in right now. I'm not looking at it.
Okay, because I tried multiple times. Let me try with this one.
Because this will charge you, Ashwini. This is not free.
Sir, which one is not free?
Anywhere it's not
It,
written free, it's not free. For
but
free, it
Okay.
should be
it
written
is
free.
like if I'm selecting T2 micro, it is also not showing it is free.
Yeah.
Earlier I tried with this one.
Oh,
It is not showing like it is free.
But I actually already deleted it. So that
Yeah, that can be the reason. Let me try from here. Yeah, this is the right way.
Let me check in case if AWS has some changes in policy. Just give me just
See, sir, let me show you now.
just a moment. I'm
Um,
checking in case if AWS has recently changed any policy.
Ashwini, you create this account recently or you are using the existing one?
yeah, recently, just 1 or 2 weeks before when we started these classes.
Okay.
Because of this, a page where we can compare these things. I remember that.
Okay. See, I just saw one article wherein it says that AWS is officially ending. Sorry, my bad. AWS has officially ended the classic 12-month free trial for new customers signing up after July 15, 2025. But what you are getting in return is you will get up to $200 in credit. New customers receive $100 in AWS credits upon sign up, with the opportunity to earn up to $100 more by completing introductory tasks. So you have to consume this $200 in 6 months. So even though you're getting charged, it
Mm-hmm.
will be absolutely free of cost till you hit $200 limit. So even though if it's showing, do not worry. Even though if it's not showing free tier, you can still use it because you have it's
Uh,
free till $200.
yeah, if it is like there, then it is fine. It's not like
At
once
least
I get charged, I have to pay later
that's what at least
as
that
a
is a document.
surprise.
At
Yeah.
least this is a price for me also because I the one which I'm using is free.
No, this day one at your window it is showing it's a free tire, but from my side I compare it T2, T3, and there was a page which is showing
Yeah,
okay, T3 micro is a free tire available, so I selected it.
yeah. I'm sorry, I did not know this. It's actually, yeah, I don't know. It would have paid lots of money. Good that you brought this. But yeah, I think till 6 months you can use $200.
And I don't need to pay 200 USD after that.
Yeah.
yes, sir.
You'll-
I remember it now. This is what it said about the $200 credit. So that's true.
That's true. Okay. So I
Yeah,
think
they've
you're safe
yeah
then,
they've
Ashwin.
changed their policies now.
Yeah, recently they've changed because when
Mhm.
I created it was free, but seems all the recent customers, all the recent logins do not have that facility anymore. But still, Ashwin, you are well in limit, so no problem.
Okay, now I deleted my instances too. I will not keep it live once I did the
Yeah.
test.
Don't keep it because anyways, if you're keeping it, they'll keep charging and it will be just taking all your $200. You see, this is
Well,
what I was referring. Can you see this? See,
let me share see your screen. Yeah.
you see, $200, up to
Oh,
$200 in credit
instead
to
of
customer.
12 months.
So you will get this. Okay, fine. Let's see what our thing has done. Has it created anything?
Mhm.
Details. Let's go back. Auto scaling group. Okay, instances to desired capacity. I think it has created it.
Created. So check the instances in EC2.
Yeah,
There must.
yeah, it's created. So two instances are there. Let's come back here and let's talk about instance management. Yes, I can see two instances are here. Both are healthy also. And this will lead to instance refresh, service history activity will also show. Okay, it failed initially. User request created, something failed, but later on it launched it. At auto scaling group, changing the desired capacity, launching instance. Fine. So now you say I did not create any instance. It was auto scaling group which has created instance. And it says that this at this time user request created an auto scaling, changing the desired capacity from 0 to 2. An instance was started in response to a difference between desired capacity and all. So everything you will be able to see in this activity log also. Right. So this is what ASG does. Any questions still here? Now you see what I'll do is I'll quickly do one thing. I'll reduce the desired capacity from 2 to 1 and I'll click on update. Let's see what it does. Activity in progress. Is it terminating? It started terminating because I updated the capacity from 2 to 1. Let's see instance. It should start shutting down. So you can just, it can be deleted, it can be created, not by using my instance dashboard, but rather by using my auto scaling group dashboard. In few seconds, even this will be down, terminated. If I'll make it 0, if I edit this, and if I make it 0, then you see both the instance. Okay, minimum capacity should be 0, update. And now if I refresh this, it is terminating the other one also. Yep, it started terminating. So this is the power of auto scaling group. Any question here? Cool, I'll take this a no. Fine. Now from tomorrow, we'll start our DevOps topics. We'll start looking at Git from tomorrow, which will be version control system. We'll see that.
Okay.
That will be more interesting, I believe, because that is more like command line interface. Because you all do have past experience. So you have past experience working in command line interface, or it's mostly graphical based applications you have used in past with your experience.
Sir, uh, so far I've been working on CLI, but since I started taking classes for different training like SD-WAN, Palo Alto, since they all have GUI, so lately I've been working more on GUI. But I know CLI too. So yeah, we'll start with Git, but sir, can you just start from the super basic? I don't even know the spelling of Git. Never heard of this word before.
Yeah, sure. Yeah, I'll ensure I'll take care of that.
And so can we also get the notes like what you taught us?
I'm just sharing all the links with these guys. Don't know
Okay.
why you are not getting it. That's the reason I asked in case if you're getting all the links or not. I was expecting them to upload everything, but I'll share them again links and I'll talk to them.
Reason is that we are doing practical things. It's fine. We are understanding quite well, but somehow we had to document it so that after 1 or 2 weeks when we are going for revision, we forgot. And that time we
Definitely,
need some exact representation that you just teach us like step by step. The
definitely,
PPT kind of thing we can see and we do the same things.
definitely. See, I'll be sharing you the links because AWS do have very good documentation. Exactly what I'm covering, everything is there
Mhm.
documented in very detailed manner. So I'll be clicking on that. I'll be sharing all the links, whatever it's needed, whatever I've covered. You just have to go through those links, and I'm doing that. I'll talk to them. I'll see in case if they can upload all those links in your whatever dashboard you do have, they can
Mhm.
upload it. We'll be able to get that.
Okay,
Okay,
sir.
any other
Great.
question?
Thanks. Yeah,
Yeah,
no, not from
sure.
my side.
Then thanks. Let's start our DevOps journey from tomorrow. Thank you.
All right. Yes, sir. Thank you, sir. Bye-bye.